my life. People, what? You guys, am I live? Am I a weirdo? Yes, that's the answer. I am a total weirdo. Here I am. You guys, okay. I have a lot to tell you. This is going to be a little like, you guys, I'm a little under the weather. I hope it's not but we'll see. Anyway, so I have a lot of things to tell you guys and I have a lot of things to share. And I'm glad you're all here. You guys, I'm Naomi Bloom. If you don't know me, you should watch my videos, you guys. Come on. This is why I'm doing this on a Sunday when I could be watching when I could be watching like a good TV show, or whatever. I'm going to get to the hair, okay? So, you guys, give me more comments. I want to hear from you guys. I actually give about you guys, okay? Send me comments. Send me like clips of yourselves. I want to see your lives, please. It's fun for me. It could be, helpful and educational for others. So please do that for me. Okay, disclaimer. You guys, I might outline because I'm a weirdo. You know what? I had 20,000 views on my last video. I was like, what? Seriously, guys? I like to talk. So, okay, disclaimer. I am a therapist, but I'm not your therapist. Well, for some of you, I could be, but that's, up to you to I can see the comments. Yes, it's up to you to self-identify. That would be violating HIPAA if I were to say that. So I'm not going to do that. So, okay. So I'm a therapist to some people. I'm a friend here just sharing you some things I've learned along the way by being a human and also by, talking to people for 15 years, 8 hours a day. When I was going through I was going through my own stuff. You guys, we're going to get to that, okay? Okay. So, you guys, I got irritated this week. That more than once. I've been feeling very ranty this week. I got irritated because you guys, I have to mediate my own comments or moderate or whatever it's called, okay? But this guy left, so I have to do all that. I'm trying to get someone to help me because I also have a full-time job as a therapist. I have 40 clients this week. You know who you are. Okay, so this guy said something kind of mean. He said, why do you touch your hair so often? Are you insecure? And I'm just like, well, first of all, I've been touching my hair a lot since I was I don't know, a person. In my high school yearbook, there's a picture of me flipping my hair. So, okay, yes, I touch my hair when I'm nervous. Am I nervous? Yes. Am I insecure? No. Why do you have to say that? It's just whatever. Yes, I'm insecure. Do you know what it's like? I'm nervous. Of course. I'm broadcasting to 20,000 people. You do that. Tell me if you feel nervous, sir. Public speaking is the number one phobia, even above spiders. Okay, you guys? Or fucking global pandemics. Okay. So, last week I did a talk on women and intimacy, and I forgot to include trauma. I was just afterwards, I was just what am I, what's wrong with me? I forgot to include trauma as an obstacle to intimacy for women. So that's a whole talk in and of itself. So we will do that, folks. Okay? I was going to talk about men and intimacy this week, but some other stuff came up and I'm men, I've got you. I'm going to talk about your intimacy because it's very interesting to me. But some other stuff came up that I wanted to talk about. And I also just kind of feel ranty. So I was I'll try something called bits and pieces. You guys will have to tell me what you think, where I just give you some thoughts and I don't go deep into one subject. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is that I don't know if you guys know this, my friends, but psychiatry has different ways they diagnose people. Did you know this? And there's something called Axis 1 and anxiety, which I have, depression, which I have, are all on there. You guys have it too. That's why we're here. Axis 1. Okay, those are considered amenable to change. That means that you can, fix them with drugs and psychotherapy, blah, blah. There are also something called Axis 2 disorders. I don't know if you guys know this, but you should, if you see a therapist or psychiatrist, you should ask them for your diagnosis. It'd be very interesting. Axis 2 disorders are considered not amenable to change. Just think about that for a second. Okay, so I don't like calling people not treatable. You know, is this changing? Sure, but it's changing too slowly. And I got mad about that this week. It's like, no, people are treatable. People need rehabilitation, like a wounded, like if we found like a wounded squirrel, like wildlife, we would not say you're unhealable, die wildlife, like you are not, you're on access to, you are not, insurance is not going to pay for this because it's not going to change. We would not do that to a squirrel. We would do what? We would rehabilitate it. So why don't we rehabilitate people? Okay? Instead of calling them unfixable. I'm not okay with that. Okay, psychiatry, DSM-5, I don't know, I take issue. I know you have your conferences and you do all your stuff and you all like outdo each other with all your smartness, but people are not unfixable. Most people. There are exceptions, okay? So I just needed to rant about that for a second. Okay, so I was going to share something about the bane of my existence. Where are you, Weebles? Come here. You guys, Weebles has been like really difficult for me this week. You guys, we had a time yesterday. I was taking him on a walk and I was a little activated, which we're going to talk about. And Weebles kept pulling on his leash. Right, Weebles? Don't act like you know you did it and you know it. Look at the people, Weebles. Be accountable. We're going to talk about that later. He kept pulling on the leash and I was just like, Weebles, Weebles. And I was like trying so hard to be patient. I sat down with him. I was like, don't pull on the leash. I was like soothing him. I was doing all the therapeutic skills. And you know what he did? He just kept pulling and pulling and pulling. And he was like running and running and running. And so then finally I just gave up because I was like, whatever. And so I just decided to run with him. And I'm just like, his instinct is to run right now. I should run with him. Why am I expecting Weebles to be like a human? He's a dog. Why do we expect each other to be like each other? We're different people. I was seeing some couples this week and I saw one sometime this week. And I said to them, like, you guys, you're mad at each other for not being like each other. Like, think about the logic of that. Don't be mad at each other for not being like each other. You know, I mean, that's like not logical, okay? Weebles is not going to be like me and you're not going to be like your partner or whatever, okay? So just like, let's not do that to each other. Don't expect people to be like you. That's a recipe for a lot of misery, folks. Okay. So, okay, now I'm going to switch topics. I'm going to share a little story first because I love a story, okay? So when my kids were young, I was like, I don't know how old they were. I was driving through the Walgreens drive-thru, which is always fun, with like toddlers and children and, you know, after work when you're tired and you just want to get home and everybody's like, you know, crabby. And so I was just trying to get my prescription. I would like had a hard day and they were like in the back arguing. They're like just being loud and they continued to argue. And I continued to say, could you please stop? Just act like one another doesn't exist. Children, you can act like that person is not a part of your reality. You can do that. But no, they kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And so I got activated. What does activated mean? It means that your sympathetic nervous system, neurology folks, kicks in and you go into fight or flight. I got activated by my children. I know it's happened to you too. Okay? I got very activated by my children and I said unpleasant things. We'll just leave it at that. I'll leave that to your imagination. Put yourself in this situation, okay? And so I got activated and I said some like unhelpful, mean things to them. And so I started to think like, what if people did not act when they're activated? When their sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight system, the one that's supposed to save your life when you're being chased by a tiger kicks in, how about you not interact with people you care about? That might be helpful. Did you know when that part of you is like kicked in, that part of your brain, the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, the limbic system, that your prefrontal cortex, which exists here, the thing that's like higher level reasoning, completely like goes black. You're completely acting from the limbic system. You're in fight or flight. That conversation is not going to end in anything but damage to that relationship. Don't act when you're activated. It saves us all a lot of, you know, trauma and turmoil. Okay? And so what do? You take some space. Why can't people take space? Because other people get anxious or angry or they want to resolve it now or they're all, you know, it's like, no, give each other space. Come on, be adults. You can do this. Don't like control your anxiety, go for a walk, take a shower, use your healthy coping strategies and give your partner or your child like some time to fucking freaking chill a bit. Okay? And then come back when your brain is a little more normal and then talk about it. You guys, if people could do this could alone could save like a lot of marriages. I don't know, thousands. I don't know, whatever. A lot. Okay? Don't act when you're activated. Set a boundary. I need some space. I'm feeling activated. I don't want to say things I'm going to regret later. Okay? I'm going to take some time. And let your partners do that too. Don't be so like neurotic or anxious that you can't let your partner do a healthy thing. That's not cool. Okay. So that I was thinking about this week. Do not act when you're activated. I call it being in the red zone. When you're in the red zone, you don't speak. You do not, because you will damage things. You will, you guys. Believe me, you guys have to believe me. I've seen this. I've done it. I've seen it a zillion times, okay? Okay. All right. So that's good. I also want to, switch of topics. You guys, I told this would be like bits and pieces and things. Okay. So I want to talk about accountability. But I want to start with a story, you guys, because I'm a sucker for a good story, okay? So my child has a friend who has a dog who eats rocks. Think about that, folks. What would that be like to eat rocks? Do you want some rocks for dinner? I'll serve you some up. Okay, so the dog doesn't have toys. The family's just like neglecting the dog. And so the dog just like sits in a bush, lays in a bush. It's obese. It has fatty tumors and it just eats rocks. That's what it does. It has a favorite rock. It can find its favorite rock in a pile. It like chases rocks like a ball. So I heard about this friend's dog who was eating rocks. And I said, no, this cannot happen on my watch. No. So I bought the dog a gift bag. I put like treats in there and bones in there and balls in there. And I put this broccoli toy in there from Target. And I'm not being, this is Target if you like it. But you guys, I'm not being reimbursed by Target. I freaking wish. Okay. Okay. And I gave it this broccoli. And then Weebles had to be a brat about it and get jealous about the broccoli. So I had to get him one too. So, okay. So there was this dog eating rocks. And I thought that was a good like analogy or metaphor or whatever for emotional abuse when someone makes you eat rocks. You guys don't eat rocks. Like, don't make other people eat rocks. You guys, that's not being a good friend. Let's not do that to one another. You know? I tell my girls, we use it as shorthand now, like, are you eating rocks? Is this person trying to make you eat rocks? Are you trying to make this person eat rocks? Don't make each other eat rocks. That's not cool. That's emotional abuse, okay? Let's not do that. Okay, so what do you do instead? You can accountability. So you guys, this week, a certain someone, one of the people I love most in the world, did a thing that upset me. And I was just like, okay, how am I going to deal with this? Like, this is like one of my closest people. This person knows who they are. And I was like, no, I knew this person would never do something intentionally to hurt me, but I was just like, what the happened? Like, what? This person did something that was like really upsetting. And so I called the person, her, we'll just say her, and I said, did you blank? And she like said some stuff, and she was unintentionally had like blanked and like violated my privacy, but to someone who wasn't safe, boundaries. And I said that, please don't do that anymore. Please don't do that. And so what she did, what I asked her to do, I said, you know what would mean a lot to me? If you could take some accountability. And then we can move beyond this. Just take some accountability. Okay? So she did. She took accountability. That's just saying, you know, I'm sorry for my behavior or lack of behavior. Okay? It's accountability is about your behavior. Okay? So she did that. Why is that so hard for people? Shame. Our favorite emotion. My least favorite emotion. Shame. People are shameful. So it gets in the way. Oh, I dropped my pen. Of them taking accountability. Okay? So most people don't intentionally do things. I mean, there are always out there. But most people think accountability is the same as apologizing. It's not. Apologizing is like saying, I'm sorry I made you feel blank. Accountability is I'm sorry I did blank or I didn't do blank. That's taking accountability. They're different. Apologies, accountability, and empathy, when put together, can actually heal a relationship. You guys, this could like save people's marriages. This could like make the, like all the divorce attorneys could make less. I love you, divorce attorneys. You're doing your business, but I'd like to see people like continue to have relationships, okay? So accountability. I'm sorry I did that behavior. It was unintentional. I'm sorry I did that behavior that made you feel empathy, blank. And like, here's what I'm going to do next time. See, you guys, it's like whatever. It's called healthy relationshiping. Okay? So why is this so important? It's important because if you don't do this, your partner will resent you. And then guess what happens? You end up like in my office, which isn't bad. My office is fun. Or you end up in an attorney's office. How does that sound? It's not cheap. Okay? And it's like traumatic on everyone. Let's avoid that if we can. And I'm not shaming divorced people. I've been divorced, okay? That's why I'm doing this. Okay, so couple together accountability, empathy, and apology. And then how you're going to handle the situation differently the next time, okay? And don't make people eat rocks. You guys, if somebody is accountable to you and apologizes, then say, okay, thank you, apology accepted. Don't make them do it a zillion times. That's making them eat rocks. Don't do that to them. If they were accountable and showed empathy and talked about how they'll change their behavior, then you don't make them continue to pay for that over and over again. That's making them eat rocks. And that's on a continuum that like can lead to or be emotional abuse. Do you want to be an emotional abuser? I don't think so, because you're my friends. My friends aren't emotionally abusive people. Or they're not my friends, okay? You're just like, you guys, boundaries. This is boundaries again. You expect people to take accountability when they've like done a behavior that was hurtful to you, but you don't make them eat rocks forever about it. And if you don't think you can stop, then like you need to like end your relationship with that person so they don't eat rocks for the rest of their lives. Nobody deserves that. Okay? You guys, I know I've been ranty. This is me in intense mode. I've been intense all weekend, but you guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. There are people live, but more people watch this later. I talk every Sunday at 8. I'm thinking of switching platforms to YouTube, but we'll talk about that later. You guys, I'm on YouTube at Naomi, and just search Naomi Bloom. I'm on Instagram, Naomi_ELB. Okay, on Instagram. And I'm even on TikTok being ranty and weird, you guys. That's where I'm at my weirdest, if you want to see my TikTok account. It's at Take a Naomint. You guys, thanks for coming. You guys, send me comments. Send me videos. I want to hear about your lives. I want to start to, like, interview people. I think that would be super fun and interpret some dreams. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, so I would like to do it. Thanks again for coming. You guys are amazing. I had fun. See, I'm always so nervous. I'm just, like, doing all my rituals to like try to control my anxiety, but then it goes fine. You guys, first of all, before I let you go, I bought this adorable little bike this week. Isn't it so cute? It's just made me happy. And then one more thing, almost everything in my house is like thrifted. Okay, people don't need to spend all of our monies. I got this. Isn't this so cute? I have it, in my bedroom. It's very, very nice. Okay, guys, I love you. Thanks for coming. Okay, bye.